Hello, this is session 3 of, well, hopefully 4 of the Sword, the Crown, and the Unspeakable. That game. All right, Scoppy Adventures, the blood on our hands, what have you. Last session, one of our players got himself captured, and then got rescued by the local adept, who has a knight who hates them, and the local priest cult lady spoke in tongues against it for some reason, and the crown was there to witness it. And was that the main recap, or did I miss anything?
Nah, that's pretty much it.
One thing I will note is that I completely forgot the name of the item that Rook has. I am going to forget things because I am not myself today. Or I am myself more than usual. Anyways. It's something about an eye or something, I think.
Yeah, we didn't give it a name, but
I think we did. Oh, wait, no. I gave the thing that the okay, so spoilers. I did give it a name. It's just
okay.
I did name drop it last session. It's just that
Okay.
I forgot what a name I gave it. Anyways.
What I have it as in my notes is there's a skull which contains like a black orb and a metal cage.
Yes.
Is that what you're referring to?
Yes. Though I name dropped what it is, but it was during the whole reveal thing that your captor did. One of your captors, one of the lascivious. Oh my god, I love how Lockhart is literally just a card from Magic the Gathering. That's amazing. Winston name dropped something. And I forget its name. Anyways, so let's start with highlights. And let's start by highlighting stuff for each other again, and I will pick an entanglement again. And sorry for my offness, but it's been a thing. Oh, every time I say Winston, I think of Winston from Overwatch. Don't worry, Agatha. And Winston from Overwatch is a gorilla.
So for the highlighting, remind me, we do just the people to either side of us? Is that how that works? Okay.
And from what chat says, I'm assuming Taylor Lautner is the one who played Jacob in Twilight, because he kind of looks like it. Okay, cool.
Okay, so Wily is what you use to like convince people, right? And Sly is what you use to observe people. Okay, good. Good. I want people to be very wily this session.
So just so I know I'm doing this right, do we just check one for the person to our, like, to the left of our character sheet, or do we do both sides? Because I thought
Both
that the
sides.
GM did one. Okay.
The GM does the entanglements.
Oh,
the GM
okay.
does,
All right.
The GM does one is from Apocalypse World, but in this case, the GM does the entanglements, or MC, whatever. Same thing.
Okay. I want to see Generous be fierce, and I want to see Miranda be, oh man, arcane.
All right, just make people competent, I guess.
I think I checked Sly for Severn. I want to get into the whole, I don't know, politics of it, and just get into it, and also maybe use that eye a bit more for its intended purpose rather than just argue with it. And
What are you talking about? Arguing is in its intended purpose.
okay, true. It's meant to be looking at things.
All right. I need to open my shit again because my sheet. Also my shit. Not in that sense though. But I need that so I can look at the basic moves. All right, cool. So apart from that, we have a fuck ton of start of session moves because of course we do. But not as bad as it can be because it's only one patron move, I guess. But also as pretty bad anyways because we have all the uh and the group moves in play. So yay. Um, let me pick entanglements. I want Miranda to be sassy and publicly mock and denigrate the authorities of this world where all can hear you.
Consider that one.
Severn, I want you to threaten or coerce someone powerful with your magic.
Oh, on the day that the arcane is not highlighted. Can't do that.
You're roboting pretty hard. But what did you say? Once you fix things.
Copy that.
All right, cool. I thought you were doing some sassy remark or saying something sassy about how you don't have that highlighted.
Well, that too.
All right. How about generous? Let someone you care about in on secrets you are privy to that they should probably not know. And so this gets unbolted. And so Rook, I want you to threaten someone powerful with a fight without considering the consequences. Since you just got captured, I want you to be badass, but also
Sure. Yeah.
but also that.
I'm looking forward to using my spiked rod on someone.
Oh my. Anyways, so where we left off, Severn just rescued Rook from the lascivious. Do we want to frame that at the aftermath of that, or what's the plan? What do you guys want to do? Oh yeah, and okay, sorry, I keep forgetting. The beginning of session moves like all four of them because of course.
Yeah, I know I have a patron move. I rolled it, so whenever you're ready to go with that, we can just do that.
Yeah, you rolled what?
I rolled really high. It's a total of 12. So I believe that my patron is happy with me. You and the player of your patron should work out why this is. You may remove one disobedience if you have any. Agatha, I guess you're the player of my patron.
Yes.
I think it's because I'm not captured anymore, right? That makes sense, right?
Why did I have to go rescue you again? Like, was there?
Because the I told you, or something told you,
because you didn't want. I think someone, or maybe you didn't want Rook to be paraded around, which is what Miranda was gonna do.
No, that was
No,
definitely
was,
not Severin's motivation. Severin was told to do this.
Yeah, Severin was told to do this, but pretty much by the SRS.
Oh, was it the SRS or was it the I?
Indirectly, the SRS. It was the I because but it was indirectly the SRS.
So whose intention was it? And then through whose mouth?
Actually, I have to rewatch the video because I'm not sure and I forget these details. I think
I should forget notes.
Maybe we don't know. Like it was through the eye, right? But like it seems like there's forces in play here.
But I think it was to impress Cordelia or something, or not impress Cordelia, but like to have like leverage on her or something.
No, it wasn't, because the conversation with Cordelia was she wanted to know what the SRS's opinion on the two mercenary groups were. Okay, whatever. So I
told you to rescue him.
Ken told me to do this, and I thought about it. I think it's because this is to make a point, basically, to Cordelia. So I don't need to actually say anything. The action itself proves the SRS's stance. So I think. So how Severin feels about this is that Severin is like, oh, like this group is still very useful to the SRS. Severin doesn't know why. That's kind of like beyond them, but they're like, oh, okay. So if they're cool with it and if they still find you useful, then I guess I do as well.
Honestly, I don't think even Rook knows how they're still useful.
Nobody knows.
Rook is probably seeking to establish his usefulness as soon as possible.
Yeah. I mean, we could have a scene. I feel like that could be pretty interesting. Post-rescue.
Yeah, but I think I will hold off until we get all the other rolls in the table, because otherwise I'll forget. So let's have everyone roll again, or everyone -7 roll for their click thing. Not the click the SRS, but like.
Yeah, I got an 11, so I get all of my surpluses and no wants.
Who rolled the 4? Who rolled the orange dice? Okay.
I see, that's +2, so that's 6. All right, so my cult's not happy with me because I probably spent a lot of time following the whims of whatever bong fog I smelled, and it all came for nothing because someone else broke him out before I could. So thanks a lot.
Oh yeah, and we established that the lascivious are gonna blame you for it last session.
You're
right.
just so dumb. All right. All my WAT tags are active this session, so that includes desertion and disease. So they're not happy.
Roll beans. And Rook, did you roll?
I did, and I totally missed on my leader of the pack. It says on a miss, your militia is in 1. Do you have no surplus bonuses? And the MC will activate 1 or 2 once.
Want unruly, desertion.
That's both ones. Yeah.
Those are both ones. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
both of them, pretty much, right? Because like I've been captured, so there's been like I think a bit of chaos since I've been out of the picture. So yeah, I think that I need to definitely talk to my boys when I get a chance. And paramours, see what's going on there.
All right, cool. So we can start with the scene with Severn and Rook, like figuring out how the hell is Severn still happy with Rook.
So, you can decide if you want this to be like after we've gotten back already, and like right before, like, or not right before, but like before you have your like confrontation or like show of authority with the paramours, or it could be like right after we escape, and then we're kind of still, or yeah, and we're still kind of like, ah.
So, refresh my memory. Like, when you released me, it was kind of just like we snuck out, right?
Yeah, I opened a portal. Well, technically, I made a slight tear in space and time, and then took you through it.
Okay, all right. Cool. So we pretty much got out of there without being noticed, right? Like, just
Yes.
kind of out, disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the reason why you might be happy with me is that I think that on the way back, I kind of proved my resourcefulness in a way. Like, despite relying on my station a lot of the time to like get shit done, I think that I was able to get us like transport or something like super easily. Like, I charmed my way into getting us like a carriage ride back or something like that, so that we wouldn't be like walking on the open road. And yeah, I think that that as we were kind of like in the carriage ride back, you were like seeing like confidence in me, like kind of despite like having been captured and everything. And I think that that may have like restored some of your confidence in me. Just because you saw that I was like resilient in a way, right? How does that sound?
Yeah, that makes sense. And considering like what I said before, it's like I assume that the SRS finds you useful. So that, and then this kind of just bolsters that. It's like whatever you believe, then what you see is like evidence for it.
Right.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I'm an asset, and it's kind of like exemplified that a little bit, maybe, even though even though you're rescuing me.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
we could have a scene question mark in the carriage, or like when we're back. Up to you.
Yeah.
Just kind of further this convo.
How about it's like when we're getting back, so that we have a little bit of a scene pusher. I
Okay.
think that yeah, we're getting back, and I'm trying to imagine like the visual on screen of what this looks like. And so I think we're like in this like rickety carriage, and I think that I don't think it's like a super fancy carriage. I think it's actually more of like, maybe it's like a wagon, like hauling some hay or something, you know? And we were kind of hiding out in the hay, like sitting in the back, I guess, with some like hay pulled over, so that we're not like visible. And yeah, I think that like I'm imagining it being like really gray and wet when we get back to the hold. I can't remember the name of like where we're at. Did we ever give a name to like this hold that
Yes.
that okay.
Yeah, I remember Pinnacle. Yeah.
The Pinnacle?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotta scroll to the right. Yes. Yes, it's like on a rocky outcrop overlooking the land. Yeah, I think that like we're going like uphill, right? And I think that as the wagon is sort of like pulling into the town, it's like we see that on screen, and it's like going on this like muddy road, and I think we just like see me like slip out the back and then I'm like maybe like holding out a hand to you to like help you get out the back as it's kind of bumping along the road. Yeah. And I think that I think it's like maybe morning time, if that sounds cool. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, so I take like your hand and like both of them, and then I like lean my whole weight on you, and I'm like wobbling down because I'm weak AF. So
Yeah, and I think I kind of like help support you and help you get to your feet. And we're like in the mud and it's like really wet. And I'm like not wearing shoes anymore. I think like, what am I wearing? What did they do to me as I was a prisoner? Like, what's my physical status? Maria, do you know?
are you wearing like ratty pants? Question mark.
I'm wondering if I'm wearing some equivalent of like prisoner clothes.
Barely, because they know that you price your
privacy.
Your goods. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Oh man, yeah. I'm in like some like scrappy loincloth type deal, and I'm just like otherwise naked and covered in like dirt and grime. And I think it's like cold, right? So like I'm kind of goosebumpy cold. And yeah, I think like we can see our breath and stuff. And I think that I am kind of self-conscious because this is now like kind of a public place. I think this is why we kind of hopped out as it was starting to go into town, because like I didn't want to hop out in town, right? So I think like, yeah, like I'm hopping out and I'm like looking for like the nearest rocky cropping that we can like jump to, and I can kind of, like figure out my next step. And I think
is it obvious that you're uncomfortable?
I think it's obvious that I'm motivated. Like I'm definitely like aware and looking around like crazy. So I think, yeah, you can definitely tell that I don't want to be like out in the open, right?
I don't feel like it's necessary for me to roll sly here. I want to, but I don't think it's necessary.
If you want to, then do it. We'll figure it out.
I think it's okay because it doesn't super make sense. I'm like looking at you and I'm shivering. But I'm like swaddled in layers. So swaddled maybe. Oh, okay. Maybe that is the word I'm looking for. I'm not sure.
Self-swaddled.
I like unwrap one cloth that's like super long, and then like I'm just like unwrapping it for a while, and then I like, toss it at you.
Oh, like what's this cloth like? Like what is this? I'm imagining like you've got like some like really meaningful like garments.
It's cashmere.
Cashmere, okay. Like what color? I like to think that it's not like red, because my normal color is red, so it's like a green color. So this is like
it's gray. Yeah, gray? I wear a lot of like vaguely white, gray, cream colored clothing.
Yeah. So this gray cashmere kind of wrap. And I think that I kind of like throw it over my head kind of and like sling it around. But because I'm a me, it's like all still not like covering me completely. So like you're still getting like the eye candy on screen. And I'm like, I think that when you do this, I think I smile at you, like, which I'm not sure is like a move in this game, but yeah, I smile.
Roll with hot.
Where's my hot stat?
I mean, I am definitely like startled. Like,
maybe I'll study you.
Yeah, go for it.
Let me roll.
And I'm like,
man, I got like the worst roll.
What'd you roll?
I rolled what's my sly? Yeah, I rolled a 3.
Okay, ask one question.
I think that I want to know. Yeah, I think it's like, what are you leaving out, right? Like, this is all nice, but
Okay.
like, I feel like there's something they're like not telling me about. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think that's like I'm like looking at you and like I'm smiling and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, this is great." But I know that there's like some shit hitting the fan a little bit with this whole situation.
Yeah, so I'm like clutching myself because I'm just like so cold. Like my body just like cannot handle the humidity and the cold of this place. Um so enlighten me, Rook. Rook. How did you get caught?
And I think we're like walking like behind some rocks, right? Kind of splooshing through the puddle, and like I'm barefoot, so there's like mud going between my toes or whatever. And I think that I'm when I look and I see that we're kind of like clear, as far as I'm aware. I turned to you and like, well, it was those
Lascivious?
yeah, the lascivious. I was just trying to see, if I could, suss out their leadership and figure out who was I know it was kind of a selfish thing to do, but I was thinking about the paramours and just like our status, and these lascivious stole one of our clients in a way. So I'm the leader, so I thought it was on me to go in there and I went alone because I didn't want to like make waves, but it like totally just went to shit because they caught me.
Did you mean to get caught? And this is the answer to your question. Your question was, what else, right? Like, what am I leaving
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, what are you leaving
What am I
out?
leaving out is I want to know if you have, like, if if you're so weak that you got caught by them, or if it was a part of your plan.
Oh man.
This will greatly affect my report. And then I sneeze.
I kind of want to like lie and say, "Oh, you got me." That was totally what I meant to do.
Persuade with leverage,
Yeah. Okay.
right? I think
Yeah.
Does that
And
sound
I
right?
still have a hard move that I need to pull off because you did roll a 6.
Yeah. Why don't we get that out?
when you act on one of my answers, then you take +1 forward. By the way, so when you persuade with
Okay.
leverage,
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will hold on to the hard move until you persuade with leverage. And let's see how that works out.
Okay. Yeah. I think that my persuade I think that my leverage is that oh man. I think that I'm trying to think if I like picked up any knowledge or something while I was there. There was like a spill, but I'm having trouble remembering it.
The spell was that they're doing some crazy magic shit.
Who?
Oh.
The lascivious.
Okay. Yeah, and I think that's what I share with you. And let's just roll this. Oh, I got like really, really high. I got it's with Wiley. Yeah, I got a 10. So I get both below. If they do or say what I want, you may choose to give them 1 advancement point. If they refuse, they must make a refuse an obligation, duty, or debt roll. Okay, yeah, so both of those things are true, one or the other. And yeah, I'm basically like, well, it's not like I can ever go into a situation like that and not walk away with like a gold mine of information because, like no one can turn down a pretty face when it comes to, spilling the beans. And and yeah, I like tell you like, yeah, they're up to some weird shit. They're not just a bunch of, competition for us. I think they're also competition for, and what's your organization again?
The SRS.
They're,
the
they're
Scar
also
Research Society.
they're also, doing like, rituals and things that I'm sure your bosses are concerned about. And that's part of your turf, right? Like dealing with the what do we call it? Because right, like people who aren't involved with it just kind of don't know the difference between like magic and science, right? So yeah, I think I like
or
say like
magic and alchemy or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's what you guys study, right? Like that science magic stuff.
So, remind me, you are walking up the pinnacle and you're at an outcropping, right? You're
Yeah, we're like
staring up
walking behind some rocks, trying to stay unseen. And yeah, Agatha. So yeah, basically, if you give me a good report, that's kind of what I'm asking for. You'll get an advancement point. If you don't, then you have to do that weird roll thing. So that's like on the table, I guess. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I say like, oh, interesting. Tell me more about these rituals, and then whatever you tell me, I'm gonna write it down. So we can figure out what that is later. But I take your word for it.
It's like awesome. Okay.
So the hard move, which which for the sly roll that you missed earlier. Rook doesn't notice, but Severn, you clearly notice someone following you.
Are they wearing any like any identifying, or is there anything identifiable about them? Like they could possibly be from the lascivious or anyone, maybe generous as people. I don't know. Or do I need to study them?
I think study. You have to study them.
So I shall. Okay. I'm gonna roll the 2 orange ones. Oh, yeah, that's 11.
I think it's a 3.
Yeah.
Right.
My question is, who is you? But what does your character really want? What is your character's current plan? That's a good question.
Currently, they're shadowing you, which, yes, I already said this.
Shadowing me or shadowing Rook?
Good question. They're shadowing, I guess, both of you at this point.
That's very strange.
And I'm not aware, right? I think I'm just still doing like my smiley look around thing, like looking for work. I'm like eyes forward, and I think like you're more like conscious of like the rear.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't tell you. What do they want? What does this person shadowing us want? What do they really want?
You get the feeling that they're eavesdropping more than anything. They don't want to fight. They just want to like if you
Information.
yes, they just want information.
How can I get them to tell me what they want, or tell me what they're up to?
What they're up to?
Mm-hmm. Oh, actually, no. How
Yeah,
can I?
because you already know. Like,
Yeah, how can I get their that character to, or them? How can I get them to tell me who is behind them? Who told them to do this?
well, you have to acknowledge that they're there to begin with, other than like looking at them. That's a start, but they seem like a warrior type, so you might have to actually fight.
My strength. My strong point is fighting. Okay, cool. Those are my 3 questions. And I don't know if you want to go to the other people.
Yeah, let's go to the other people because the other people have been waiting for a long time. All right. So, Miranda. I'm going to go to Miranda if that's okay with you, Center, right? So, Miranda, your cult is in bad shape.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is because there's been another cult on the rise.
What? Should bandwagon hoppers? Who's this lot now?
They call themselves Sister, or she calls herself Sister, and yeah, she's gathering a lot of uh um attention because whereas magic, like how, like we established that magic here is still like what is magic, what is science, and it's not super flashy. Did we establish that? I forget.
Like my magic is pretty utilitarian.
Yeah,
The tools look kind of fancy, but in reality it's pretty utilitarian. Not a lot of like bright lights or whatever.
except that one time where the Kanto decided to shine and then Miranda started snorting stuff.
Yeah, well, but Kanto is extra. So
Kanto is extra, that is true. Yeah. Sister is also very extra. She is one of those types that shoots fireballs for no reason.
What a body tawdry display. God. Can I meet my cult at the moment so I can talk base with them if there's any left? Because we started
They
with
are
7.
left. They are left. It's just they start at 7. And last time you rolled disease. So I think
Oh, Jesus Christ.
part of it is also that they're sick.
Oh my.
Since both your ones are active, they're still sick.
Pampered ninnies. I can't trust anyone in this stupid stronghold. Uh, okay, who's not sick? And okay, I'll meet with one person, the one who's not sick and still maybe kind of loyal.
Do you want to name them?
Yes, her name is Goneril.
How do you write that? Can you put it on the NPC
Yeah,
tab?
I'll put it in. Image for them yet.
Right. So, yeah. So you're meeting with Gunnerl, who is the only member of your cult who is either able to participate or wants to at this point.
Jesus Christ. I'm imagining Goneril as probably 10 years older than me. And she was the one that I couldn't really figure out. Why is she. Because everyone else in that cult is kind of around the same age as Miranda and kind of like share the same interests. Except for Goneril, who is kind of like. Who was much older, was basically there saying, I'm here to see what happens. They're probably not the most. They seemed like not the most enthusiastic, but for some reason she's sticking around, and we'll meet this at our headquarters, I guess, or I say headquarters. It's more like the office of a. It was more like the offices of a warehouse that's been kind of abandoned. So kind of like just at the back. They usually just hang out there. Just a bunch of books. It's kind of ratty. Lots of mildew. It's like, oh, this is a place that the family Laguna couldn't be bothered to spruce up, so just left behind. And that's why Miranda used that as her place now. Yeah, I think Miranda strides in after having just met the Lascivious and figure out, oh, that boy toy she purchased under the behest of it has flown the coop, and she's just spent all that money on it for no reason. So she's not happy. And she walks into the Murmuring Chantry, and no one's there except for Goneril.
And Gunnerl says, "Well, I'm thinking this is the next morning,
Oh, okay. Oh, it's in the morning after.
or like at some point, after you were supposed to pick them up."
Hmm.
So Gunnerl it says, "Well, I some of us had to stay low. I suggest you do the same."
Stay low from what? We just
The
had. We
Lascivious?
just. Lascivious. What could those preening? They're not even the best group of man whores in this place. What could they do to us? I mean, they basically rolled out the welcome carpet for me. I think we'll be fine from them. We just got the support of Generous earlier this week. We should be fine. Now, why in the world would they be staying low?
The Lascivious has partnered with Sister's Cult.
Don't talk to me. Preening, prancing, cheap magician. She would use the power of the unspeakable power to create magic tricks. None of them care about what we care about, Goneril. About, truth. About, you know, showing them how the world works. And Miranda sits down, kind of like, and she's still wearing what I had put there, kind of like the face covering thing. And she's just kind of like, where's everyone gone? Goneril. Stand up and be honest with me.
Like I said, they're laying low. You can study her if you want.
Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Oh, come on! That's a 2. Nothing rolling. Well, okay, I'll ask one question. Let's think. What does your character? Oh man, no, I'm gonna trust Goneril, which in this genre is probably not advisable. But considering we just made her up 5 minutes ago, I don't believe she has any ulterior motives. Unless you do something, Maria. I don't know. What does your character wish I would? No, what does your character really want?
Well, I'm imagining that Gunnerl is a relative if she's just if she's just here because she has to.
Okay.
So I think Gunnerl wants you to cut the crap and just stop being a cultist. Like that's
Alright,
what she really wants, honestly. But like, uh, the bad news, since that is a 2 plus whatever, I don't care.
Yeah.
It's a 2.
Yeah,
It's
plus
Snake Eyes.
yeah.
Um. So I think Gunnerl. This has been a few days after, and Gunnerl says, "Well, there's another issue.
What now?
We don't have the supplies from Generous.
Do we not?
We do not.
What does? No, they don't. What? If they have any reason, or
Nope.
they just
Just shipment's not here. There's no, or rather, the funds are not here.
no supplies, no followers, no support. Not even you, right, Goneril?
I'm just doing this because my mom, our mom told us to keep an eye on you, or told me to keep an eye on you.
At least you're being honest for once. Not even you. At this point, Miranda's kind of staring into space, not even looking at you. All I have is it and its whims. Did you ever believe that it existed, Goneril?
Something exists, but I don't think it cares enough.
That's the problem. Nobody cares enough about you or anyone else. Well, fine. You've backed me. You and everyone else have backed me into a corner. She kind of stands up, and she's like, I might be off to do something incredibly foolish, Goneril. And I'd like you to know that no matter what Mother says, all blame falls on me and it. She kind of puts her hands on
What are you doing? And I want to cut there.
his Okay.
Generous. I'm assuming you did send funds to support Miranda, right? That was the deal.
Right.
So you're still under the impression that those funds are being sent,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know that anything is gonna arrive. However, sorry, excuse me. There is the matter of like your routine meetings with people, and I think so one of them uh like like the presentation is presenting Gligaro of and of the bazaar or whatever he's called. But yeah, Gligaro is the next one.
It's who? I'm sorry.
Gligaro is the You're seeing Ligaro now.
Okay, who is that?
The person who is supposed to be
Oh, okay, there he
behind the
is.
paramours.
Right. Okay. So he was.
I'll
Okay, right. He was the guy that they
name.
stole the thing, the orb thing from.
Yes,
right.
the orb
Okay.
thing.
Sorry, I was just catching up and placing him. All right, so he's coming in to see me.
Yes.
Okay. And so I was thinking, just to potentially complicate things, since this is a potentially serious meeting, I was also thinking maybe my daughter is there and I'm like having her practice making judgments for people as I'm kind of getting her ready to eventually take over the throne. So, when he asks things, I'll kind of see what she wants to say before I make the final judgment, and get people used to, seeing her in a position of power.
Generous. I have some concerns. I have been beset by bandits and they have stolen something from me. It is a priceless object. However, I can create another one of that sort. Or not create, but like I can. He phrases it like he can make another one.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not the issue. I require funding for this project.
Okay. And so I'm going to kind of defer to Amana to see what she said. Do you want me to kind of play her role too, or do you want to do that since she's an NPC?
I'm going to ask you to study her.
Okay.
A lot of study roles, yes. But
yeah,
I want you to study her to see.
Sly. How sly I am. I'm one sly. Okay. Clear this other dice off of here. Okay, that's a 12.
All right. Yeah, so you have 3 questions to ask of Amana.
Okay. So I guess first, what's her current plan for dealing with this situation? What does she think we should do for what was his name again? Gilgaro, yeah.
She seems she's unsure because he says he can replace it, but it's a priceless object.
Mm-hmm.
And and understandably, and so she's you may ask further questions, but she's kind of deferring to you for this.
Okay. So I think that what I want to do is I want to kind of teach her that in these kind of situations, you need to be decisive. You can't like waffle with people and stuff like that, because otherwise, they think they can get something over on you, or, that gives them time to manipulate you. This guy, he seems like kind of I'm at least getting the impression, without rolling for it, that he's a little bit of a shady character. And so I don't want to give him a chance to kind of you know, weasel anything out of us. And so, but now I, as a player, have to decide what decisive judgment I want to give on him, because he's basically, he's asking for funds to help make a new one of whatever this thing was that got stolen from him.
Yes. And you have 2 more questions to ask. And I'll let you ask from Ligaro or Amana.
Okay, so if I can, hang on 1 second, my cat is destroying something. Get from there. Okay, sorry, he's upset that he's not getting to play in the game, I guess. So he's destroying things to get my attention. Okay, so yeah, if I can ask questions of Gilgaro, I'd start with, what does your character really want?
He wants your money. Like,
okay, so
this is a weasel thing. This is most definitely he's trying to weasel out of something, like
straight up greed.
Straight up greed. Just if something is really priceless, then why would he? Why would he? How could he make another one of those?
Right. Okay. And then, can I actually trust him to follow if I give orders, or is he gonna try to like go behind my back?
Follow with what?
Like, if I make a judgment, can I trust him to respect my judgment, or is he gonna try to weasel around whatever I tell him?
I think he's the type, from your interaction with him, he seems like to be the type that he will respect it initially, but he'll whistle around in not direct ways. Like, he'll try to look for an opportunity to whistle himself out into things, but not for this specific thing. Like, this specific thing, if you say no, he will go. He will respect that.
Okay, so I think that the judgment that I'm going to pass, and I'm going to try to kind of demonstrate this to Amana, that this is how you have to handle people like this, is I'm going to say, your financial loss is not my responsibility to compensate. It's a well understood tradition that if you're carrying valuable items through the wilderness, then you're responsible for guarding that. However, I'm concerned about the fact that there are bandits and brigands running around that would attack someone. And so I am going to ask him to meet with Lockhart to give him full cooperation in investigating who it was that stole this object from him. And I'm going to also, I assume Lockhart is probably there as in his captain of the guard capacity. And so, I'm going to kind of call him over and whisper to him, I want you to find out as much as you possibly can about what this thing is and who took it.
Awesome sauce. All right. Let's go for another 10 minutes, and then we'll have a break around that time, I guess. So let's see. I think Severn and Rook, you weren't gonna follow through with the guy who was shadowing you, or are you?
Oh, I will.
Oh, you will. So let's get back to that.
Great. I believe my question, the question that I'm following up on, how can I get them to tell me who is behind them? And you said that it's you. What you said was I would have to acknowledge them first.
Yes.
What do I want to do?
And second, it seems that they're a fighter type, so if you want to get like more out of them, you're probably gonna have to fight them.
Well, I am not a fighter, nor am I a lover. I also just leveled up. And I took power, horrible power, which is where like I have arcane mastery over something, and it's like different elements. You choose one element, and the one that I chose is illusions. So what I'm going to do is I take out of my one of my many layered sleeves a smaller version of like what I was unfolding to like cast my magic, and it's like I hold it. It's like it floats like between my fingers like this, and then I spin it. And I'm gonna cast my magic to create some illusions for this dude that's following us. I don't do it in secret, so you can totally see it, Rook.
Yeah.
Roll a 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay. So on a hit, hold 1, spend your hold to bend what you master to your will. And then on a 7 to 9, you will pick a consequence from the following list, which is what that my control is weak. The effect is less than or not exactly what I desired. The control is erratic. There may be unexpected consequences. And the control is exhausting. I take S harm. I don't know what S means.
It's kind of like Apocalypse World. It's stun harm. So you're
okay.
stunned.
Cool. I'm cool with any of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast an illusion. It'll, to the person following us, it'll seem like they're walking into a mist. I guess, well, I have to reveal myself because that's a part of what you said. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm not acting on it because that will only make it a 9 anyway. So I'm not acting on it. Never mind. Yeah, so they'll feel like they're walking into a mist, and then like through the mist, it's basically like a dreamscape. They will suddenly be in like wherever they usually go to like meet their employer, whoever is in charge of them, and then they will report to them. Like the person will require a report, and the sound like of their voice will be familiar to this dude.
All right.
And through that, like whoever they think it is or whoever he thinks it is, it will show, like it will make the illusion clearer, and then I will see who it is how that works.
All right. So I think sure. All right. So let me think a little bit. Okay, Rook. How do you react when you see Seven casting the magic, first of all?
I think I watch, but I'm definitely grabbing like a rock nearby, and I think I'm just waiting for the right moment to use it.
Right.
To use it on me or the person following us?
Not on you, on Elaine, who I believe is the one following us.
Yeah, Elaine is the one following you. You don't know their name technically. I just put it in the NPC tab, so I know. But okay. So Rook, or rather Severn, who is the big boss of the SRS? Question.
Let's just say that my handler, what is their name? What is her name? Whisper It's actually very high up.
All right. So you're gonna get what you want, a 7. Rook, what do you do when you see Whisper? And also you, 7. Or actually no, because you have mastery over this. So 7, you don't see Whisper. Rook sees Whisper.
Oh, so we see 2 different people.
Or yes, you see 2 different people because of the unexpected side effects. That's the one I picked.
Cool.
Okay. I guess I'll study the situation and see what else I can find out about these people or about Severn.
So Whisper shows up for Rook. For Elaine, you see. So he is a lascivious, or actually, sorry, rewind that. He's not a lascivious. I forgot that my mind went different ways for that. He's not a lascivious.
Okay.
Actually, what happens is you see Whisper twice.
Me?
Or as a like 7, yes, because you're casting the illusion. Rook sees 7, or sorry, not 7. Whisper, like Rook sees Whisper for whatever reason, and you see Whisper as being some magic shit that caused Whisper to appear twice in your illusion for whatever reason.
Wait, I don't understand. Like, what I'm looking for is
the boss.
Yeah, the boss. So is it actually Whisper? Like, because I need like a clear answer since like succeeded.
Oh yeah, yes, it is Whisper. Like Elaine's boss is Whisper ultimately. Huh. And Elaine is talking to Whisper, but Whisper also appears in the as a different instance of Whisper. So it's like Whisper is there twice.
Okay. And does it look like the other Whisper is an illusion?
Yes, they're both Whispers are illusions.
To me.
To you, yes.
No, what I mean is I am aware that they're both illusions because I cast the spell. But what I mean is does it look like one of them is not actually Whisper? Is there something that I can spot?
They're both actually Whisper, yes.
Oh, they are both.
Both of them are Whisper and both of them are illusions.
Okay.
So the magic did some weird shit. You're not quite sure. I guess you're not sure what it did, but it did some weird shit. Rook, you see Whisper. Who do you know?
I don't know I don't think I do. I think that all the correspondence I've had with SRS has been like via courier, or something like that, right? Or like maybe they I don't know if they use like pigeons or something to deliver messages or something, but yeah, I haven't actually met anyone from SRS except for Severn. And I think that I'm like watching this play out a little bit because it's weird, right? But I think I'm also like getting ready to like jump on Elaine because I realize he's like following us, right? And that's not cool. But yeah, like they're like having a conversation, right? So like what are they saying? I think that like because Elaine is like in like some kind of like dreary state, right? Like he's not aware that this illusion isn't real. So like I think what Agatha was like going for was like to figure out something cool here, right? Like about their machinations, right? So Like, what are they saying?
So, there. So two things happen because there because the conversation with between Elaine and Whisper happens.
Mm-hmm.
Rook, you get addressed by Whisper. You think who you don't know. We'll resolve that later, but
okay.
but let's deal with the information about uh about so Elaine is reporting to Whisper that they saw Severn with Rook and that the lascivious are and the lascivious don't know, like basically they're relaying the information they're reporting. Whisper, because she's an illusion, but he's like, so the information he lets out is that how do I phrase it, that the that he's unsure whether the paramour should be a thing or not a thing, but like whether Rook should be in control of the paramours anymore.
Yeah, and as soon as I hear him like saying this, and I realize like what his what kind of report he would be giving, I'm just gonna like walk up. I think he's like kneeling or something in front of Whisper, like giving this report. That's just how it is in my head. And I think I'm just gonna like walk up and like bash the back of his head in with this rock. So I don't know if I need to roll engage for that, or I don't know if he's vulnerable to me.
He is vulnerable to you, yes.
Yeah,
so.
I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna just like smash his skull in. I think like as he like slumps over after I do this, I think I like turn him over and like get on top of him and just like keep like smashing his face in with the rock. And I think there's like a kind of a calm look on my face as I'm doing this. Like I'm just like and there's like blood splattering on me as I'm like smashing his face in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so your version of Whisper is just staring at you. Well, not like staring, it's more like looking at you calmly. And Severn, you see this whole thing.
I would like to help or interfere. Well, I would like to interfere.
Do the thing.
Well, did you roll, by the way?
I did not roll because he was vulnerable to me.
Oh crap!
So, I don't know how that works.
In the case, I would say that in the case that Severn would interfere, then that becomes a roll because Severn would interfere.
So. Right? Yeah.
Engage in combat.
So would it be that move, or would it be threaten with force?
It's engaging combat, or. Okay.
No, because threaten with force is like you're not actually dealing harm yet, right?
Yeah, it's engaging combat. Yeah, they're gonna deal 0 harm regardless, but it's engaging combat with the intent of beating the shit out of them, I guess. So,
okay.
roll with Fierce. Oh, hey, Fierce. Something you're good at. Technically.
Yeah, I got 11 with my engaging combat. So that is like crazy high. I pick one. Oh man. I could be really mean and be like, I achieve a goal, but just so that I can like I think play with Agatha here, I think I'm gonna do like I stymie my opponent. Like I think like the first blow like knocks him unconscious, right? And yeah, and I think like I get like a couple smacks in before like maybe I dropped the rock after the first blow and I was just using my fist and like bloodying him up a little bit more. And that's when Agatha like interfered. Like, what do you do?
Well, actually, I'm totally cool with you killing him.
Oh, okay. I thought you
as
wanted
a
to use him for
character,
something.
I'm not. As a character, Severn is not. But as
Okay.
a player, I'm totally cool with it. I
Okay,
mean,
what does
blood
Severn?
is the second word in this game. Actually, blood is anyway, I'm shouting like, if you kill him, you're done. They will kill you.
And I think like when you say that, I just like pause and I like look over at you as there's like blood splatter on my face, and I'm like, how would they even know?
Ooh. Are you
And
threatening
I'm
with
like,
force?
and I think what I do is I study you. Maybe I should roll. I feel like I study you.
Are you sure you're not either threatening with force or persuading with leverage? Because I feel like you're threatening me, but it could be persuading with leverage.
I wasn't meaning. I think I was more like persuading. Okay.
Yeah, persuade with leverage.
Yeah.
So leverage
All
being
like if you don't tell and I don't tell, ain't nobody gonna know, kind of thing. Also, I got blood all over my face. I could just pummel you with this rock, so on and so forth.
All right.
I mean,
I will roll it. Is that okay?
Yeah, you're not actually threatening with violence, but you're like threatening with the threat of violence, I guess.
I don't think I'm threatening right now. I'm like persuading. I'm like, how would they even know?
Persuading
You
with
know,
the
like
threat of
leverage
violence.
being like I could totally get away with this. Like there's a good chance I could like just totally be perfectly fine killing this guy. How does that sound?
I'm cool with it.
All right, I'll go ahead and roll it then. I got 7 plus. I think I have. What do I have in Wily?
But threaten with force is so interesting as a move. So much more than persuade with leverage. The consequences are so much better.
Yeah, I don't feel like I'm really hitting that trigger though, because I'm not like threatening you. I'm more like, so I got 8.
By the way, this scene you gained 2 experience total, Philip, because you did roll with Fierce and you rolled with Wily.
I already took my Wily one, but I'll just go ahead and take the Fierce one for this.
Oh yeah, true. It's it's a new. I think if you consider this a new scene, then I would consider it a new scene. So.
Are you telling me that I can go ahead and take it and get an advancement?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, so for a 7 and 9, I believe that actually this is another player. So I choose one. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I can't remember what refuse an obligation has. Is that cool?
Oh, I could just spend my honor. Oh, this is so interesting. I like this a lot.
If I choose that one, right?
Yeah.
You like that one? Okay, cool. I think I
like
will. I haven't seen that. We haven't seen that yet on the table, so I'll totally choose that if the target refuses, then they must make a refuse an obligation due to your debt roll. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, are you gonna like what? You gonna like report on me? Like you just saved me. Why would you do that?
Okay. I will make that roll.
You have to spend honor. So
yeah, I'm spending 2 of my honor.
So all of your honor, okay.
No, I have 4 actually.
All right, because you gained a shit ton of honor last session for some reason.
Yeah,
we already know that I don't have any honor.
Wait a second. I rolled an 8 plus 2 is 10. Yes. I was hoping I would do worse.
So it means that you can refuse the obligation, no problem. Like
nothing. Boring.
So what do you say to me? Like you basically shut down this like thing I'm doing, right? You're like basically saying that no, I'm not gonna get away with it, right?
I think the amount of force and like violence that you inflicted on Alain. Sorry, what's that?
What Leandro said, you get in chat, you get experience for using honor moves.
Oh, cool, sweet.
Or the first time in the session.
Sweet. I'll take it. I think some of the blood, like actually, like just tiny specks, actually, like speckled my my outermost layer as well, and it's like really stark because all my clothes are kind of like pale and vague, and then it's just like blood. And I'm, what do I do? Whether I tell or not is not up to you or me.
Oh, okay. So it's like there's like a higher power that you subscribe to. Okay.
No, it's that none of this is in our hands, and
and I'm like, yeah, okay. I think I like look at you and for like a moment, and I'm like, and then I just like pick him up and like throw him over my shoulder, and I think that's when we like maybe, I don't know, unless does that sound good to you? Like maybe that's when we like go on.
cool. Yeah, you can.
Like
I mean,
he's our prisoner.
You can do whatever. Isn't he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
But I like. But we did that
imprisoning him
interfere
close.
thing, so
No,
I didn't roll. I didn't roll to interfere.
oh, okay.
I only shouted at you.
I thought that's where we were going with it. So I was like backtracking.
I wanted to.
Like, okay, yeah. Like I liked that idea. So like that you like said this to me before I could kill him.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
So I was like, that's why I said like, oh, I dropped the rock and I just switched like blooding
Cool.
him on with my fists.
Okay.
I definitely think he's like close to dead.
So he's not dead now.
He's not technically dead. But yeah.
I'm gonna cut it short for now because we do need our break.
Oh,
okay.
yes.
That sounds
and
good.
we need to resolve everyone else if that's
Right.
okay.
That's cool.
Cool. 5-minute break.
Is anyone here a Mass Effect fan?
Yeah.
I guess it seems like pretty excited.
At Big Bad Con, I was sitting with Ryan McNeil, and well, actually, I played a Mass Effect Andromeda PBTA game with Ryan McNeil,
What?
and it gave us life. But it was also like the guy who was like running this was like didn't understand PBTA gaming because he like had out like maps with miniatures and was like, you can't go this far, and was like doing turn order, and then so we were like, this guy doesn't. This game was like not a great PBTA game, and also like not exactly what we wanted from like Mass Effect feels stance. And so like we started like talking about like, oh, what would our Mass Effect PBTA game be like?
Oh
And we
my
started
gosh.
like we actually like sat down like late Sunday night and like actually like started designing it. So it's like giving me like a lot of life. It's like basically like a Wodu hack in a way. So I'm like living for it.
Miranda, what was your plan?
Before I do anything, I do because because plan it means I thought of something, but it's mostly before I do, I want to get in touch with it first. I want to whisper to it, see if it
Okay.
give me something. I think
Whisper.
in fiction it's like after I patted Garo, I told her to fuck off. And if she's not gonna help me, she's not gonna stay. She can't stay here. And this is again getting more with that bog fog, that's or miasma. And yeah, I'm just gonna whisper to it, see if it'll give me anything. Please, can I roll something good? Oh, thank God. All right, that's a 12. And on a 12, well, I'll either have a brief vision, a faint voice, or a curious sensation. MC will pick. And on a 10 plus, it's clear insight as to what it wants. Basically, I'm kind of asking it, why did it tell me to save that man whore guy?
He knows where the eye is. And with the eye, they can show up. They can come.
Ah, okay. Okay, I think when Miranda realized that, she's just like she's finally smiling after a day of stress, and ooh, and I think well my initial plan was like she wants to see sister in action, kind of like what are they doing in what they do in public, like I don't know, magic or whatnot. Like, what's like a kind of like a mass for them or something?
Uh, like, you want to see what, or does Miranda know? What are you implying?
No, I want. Miranda wants to see, wants to like, kind of like. Does sister have like mass or something, or like open meeting
Yeah.
or something? Yeah,
Yeah, she does.
yeah. Miranda wants to attend one of those.
All right. So we can fast forward to one of those meetings in which, so you see, uh, first, so when you walk into one of these meetings, you see that the all of her attendants are men. All of the men are unclothed, so fully naked men. And she is she has her own throne, and she's just sitting at the throne, or sitting in the throne, and with the men basically singing her praises.
Yeah, can I study this situation? Because this is a... What is happening here?
Yes, you may study this awkward situation.
Yes, I could just walk in and all these. Uh-huh. When he wants to play. Alright. That's... Alright, what's the study situation? Ah, darn it! Can't get it help. Okay, that's a 6.
What's your one question?
Alright. Okay. How is one of my adversaries' phone? No. What am I missing?
Well, in what sense? Because you're missing a lot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the thing. I'm missing a lot, and I really don't know where to concentrate on. Right. Should I change the question, or should I stick with that? Oh, I think I'll stick with that. I've asked the question. I shouldn't backtrack. Shouldn't be fair. Like, I guess what app? That's so. Yeah, I'm clearly very lost and confused. In some respects, can I sense that they are actually like? Is there actual like magic? Am I missing magic, or is this all just flim flam?
So, this is actual magic.
God.
Like, a sister is into some deep shit, or not deep shit. Well, she's not in trouble. I mean, deep shit as in, her magic stuff is like strong.
Mm-hmm.
I've been expecting you, Miranda Laguna.
Hello, sister. I believe you've been peddling some powerful magics to the masses. And Miranda kind of gives a look at all these. And I'm sure they're enjoying the privilege of being in your presence.
I can share that with you, if you so wish. As soon as she says that, like 2 of the men are approaching you.
Well, if you'd share this with me, may I ask that you share it yourself personally?
How about you persuade with leverage here?
Hmm.
Leverage being that, what are you what are you leveraging? What are you offering? Yeah.
I'm off. I still have some honor, so that means I still have pull with the family Laguna. I'm offering her potential. You know, what do you get when you ensnare a scion of a fairly powerful mercantile family? The name still means something.
They don't want that. That's the
No?
thing.
Okay. What do they want?
Well, something you can give them is lesbians. So.
Wait, what? say that again.
Or lesbian sex, rather.
Oh, is that it? Oh, come on. I'll give that.
You can. That is a thing you can offer. Or,
I She's so
Since
crazy.
you did miss on your study roll, you don't know what she actually wants.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's the thing. I think no.
But
I
sex
think
is always on the table because this
no,
is a Scuppy
no,
Adventures.
I know I will. Have you seen what the sex move for the beloved is, though? I don't
Oh
think she
yeah, I
knows
am
it.
aware. I am
Okay,
aware
yeah,
that you
yeah. I
share
think
stuff.
yes, yeah. So Miranda kind of like looks at the man, and then looks at his sister, and Miranda's kind of like, "Well, I've had a long, hard day, and it seems the masses don't want what I peddle. So might as well take a sample of yours."
So, uh, so here's the thing. She's offering naked men. Uh, you're unless you persuade her to do it herself, you're gonna get naked men.
Hmm.
Which is fine because I
I mean,
guess
yeah.
if you want to have naked men spread your the word of it.
I'll take whatever, but I'll make that. I think as well, not leverage, but like just to mark Miranda's intent. I think she takes off the the scarf just to show her face fully, the sister, and as kind of like a gesture, I guess.
So, as a gesture of what? Are you trying to persuade her?
Yeah.
Okay, roll.
God. Hey. 7. That's 4 plus. Wait, that's 5 plus 2. That's a 7.
All right. Uh, so they want more. Uh so she's they want more, or she wants more. And Miranda of House Laguna, you're going to have to do more than that to see it. You must prostrate yourself before it and let it work its will upon you.
Miranda smiles, and she's like, "That's all I've ever wanted from the very beginning." She kind of she kneels in front of sister.
So the feeling you're getting is that you're gonna be humiliated, whatever, like, in some, like, she wants to humiliate you at some point during this encounter.
I can
Do
take
you
it.
still? All right, cool. So sexy times happens. You get that hold. Uh, and you do it with the entire cult.
Wait. Say that again.
You have sex with the entire cult,
Oh my
so
god.
that is a thing that happens.
All right. Well, I've shared it with them, and I can cash those for people for the viewers in future. The beloved has it. Everyone every playbook has a sex move, and for the
Yes, I
beloved,
replay with Cats Sex movie because that is a holdover from Apocalypse World that actually fits here.
yeah, like you put that in dungeon roll, be like, what? But here, for the beloved, if you and another character have sex, you share it with them. Hold 1. You may spend it at any time to have them spread knowledge, fear, or worship their choice of it. That's my it specifically, the it that I shared
Yes,
with
you're
this
it.
entire
You're
cult.
all right. Good. So that happens, and uh, we can cut to Generous and Severn. All right. So Severn, you wanted to you said in chat that you wanted to talk to Generous. Okay, do that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I look for Generous. Where do I find you?
Oh, are you asking me or Generous?
I'm asking Generous.
Okay. Stentor?
Yeah, sorry, my computer was freezing, and I was on one of the other tabs, and it wouldn't let me come back to this tab to unmute myself. I mean, the throne room is usually the best place to find me if you need to talk to me.
Do I see you there?
Unless you want to request like a private audience.
Okay, I'll request a private audience.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess you talk to the staff person and they work it out. And so we'll say that there's kind of a side room that I use for meeting people in private. And so I will be waiting in there for you. And so it would be just the two of us and I'd say like a couple guards that are there. So I welcome you in. Come in. What is it that you needed to see me for? My staff just told me that you needed a private audience, and I kind of trusted that you had a good reason.
Of course, your generosity. And I like look around at the guards. Or how close are they? Are they close enough to have like be within earshot? Or if we were to have like, is it possible for us to have like a private conversation?
You could, if you like whispered to me, then they wouldn't hear. You know, they're watching in case somebody, you know, like pulls a knife on me or something.
Would you let me whisper to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Have I done that before?
I would say no, but I don't have any reason to have a specific suspicion of you doing anything wrong. So I don't see why I wouldn't. I think that's it's common enough that people like, you know, don't trust the professionalism of my cards to not say anything, but I like to have them there just in case there's a problem.
Yeah, so I'm like I walk towards you and then you see like from like one of my sleeves I'm like clutching a cookie and then I like slip it deeper into my sleeve. And it's clearly like the one that is like
I do like the idea that this palace has just like cookie tables everywhere.
Yeah, I like there must be a waiting room outside of this like private chamber.
Yeah.
And they have like really stale but really pretty looking cookies, I'm assuming. And that is what I took.
Okay.
Look, I gotta always.
This is gonna be a plot point later.
I need to stock up so that Kanto doesn't flip out on me. Anyway, yeah. So I like tuck it in there and I like pat it a little bit, like stay there. I like make the motion of like looking at the guards. And then I do like this, like, and then I come closer.
Okay.
Like, like it's okay for me to like.
Yeah, I motion that you can come closer to me.
I think for a moment I look surprised. You're like, yeah, just come closer. Come close to assassination distance. But yeah, I go for it. Your generosity. they are these. Of course, I trust that they are trustworthy.
Yes, they're my most select guards.
That they would both keep you safe and your secrets.
Yes, precisely.
Then I trust them too.
Okay.
Your generosity. How long have you had the paramours within your stately walls?
It's been about 20 years. And you other folks can, if that doesn't work, Philip in particular, if that doesn't sound right to you, you can jump in.
As I was under the impression that the paramours have been there forever. They've been like part of the, what's it called? The
new union. The new union. Yeah, they are part of that. They've been here since we overthrew the since the new union overthrew. I think this was a while ago, like maybe before I was around. But the Paramours as an organization have been here for a long time, since the change of government, the real power, you know.
Cool.
Okay, I was envisioning a much more compressed time scale for this. Is why.
Though that doesn't necessarily mean that that's not also true, because what I said was within the stately walls, which is within the pinnacle specifically, but they could have been outside of the city at that point. It's up to you if you want to roll with that or not. Either way,
I'll kind of let, since Philip's in charge of the paramours, I'll let you have the final.
Can you remind me what that was that you said just now about the paramours?
20 years.
Well, that was what I...
In the context, sorry, I'm just like trying to catch up a little bit here. So,
how long have the paramours been within the stately walls of the pinnacle?
Well, it's definitely been since, if we look on the myth tab, since rightful rule was challenged, because we like had established that that basically before that it was like the monarchy or something.
Yeah,
right?
I understand that the paramours are in power, but what I mean is, like,
how long ago was this?
Is, like, how long have they been here physically? Their presence here.
I think it's been a long time, if I remember. Because
yeah, I kind of like the idea that I'm like,
if I remember correctly, it's been a long time because the paramours were the reason that the thing happened.
Oh, it looks like we lost someone.
Oh, Leandro.
Okay.
I mean, I can roll with it being a short time. So if it's like 20 years, I think that's still long enough for me not have to personally been involved with it, like the turnover. Like that was like still like I'm not that old, right? So
no, what I mean is they can be separate things. Like you could be a thing already, but not necessarily like have gone over to the capital or whatever. And there may be a reason why that happened, but that could also, it could just be a long time ago. It doesn't.
Yeah, I was imagining that the reason why the paramours were useful in all that was because they were already like in the middle of it, because they were like the bedfellows of all these people of the court. So that's what I was imagining.
Okay,
but this doesn't have to have been a long time ago. This could be, you know, a couple decades ago, and that works perfectly fine, I think. Don't you think so? Like if we say this was like 20 years ago, then
because if it's 20 years ago, that's been within my reign as the crown.
So do you remember the times when it was like different power structure?
Yeah, I mean, I could envision it being a thing where like you know, early on in my reign, I actually invited the paramours to take a more prominent role as kind of part of the machinations of securing my power.
Maybe what it was that like prostitutes and the such were not allowed, and you like legalized it. And the paramours got into the court in that way, and then we like totally betrayed you.
I can roll with that. I can roll with that.
Oh, that's some good Ajax there. But yeah, I'm okay with it being like fairly recent then. Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
All right. So we'll go with that. So
we're still missing someone.
I'm trying to get in touch with Leandro, so
Their internet must have dropped.
That's like the worst.
Yeah.
I had like one freeze earlier where I was like, oh no, but then it went away.
We'll give me a little while, I guess.
Okay. Well, yeah, so what's your answer? Your generosity.
So 20 years.
And how have they served you? Well?
So far, well, yes.
Very well. Or so I've heard.
Yes.
And you are pleased?
I am. Yes.
Well, there's nothing for me then. I am going to cast. What is my power? Horrible power. I think is what it's called. Power, horrible power. Yes. Right now. Selected. I think that's that's a 5 plus 2 is 7. Okay. So it's another 7 to 9. Maria.
All right, cool. I
can describe what I want to do.
Yeah, please describe what you want to do. Oh, and Leandro's back. Okay.
Yeah,
Leandro,
welcome back,
okay?
Leandro.
Hey, sorry, my internet went down for some reason. Of all times.
Yeah, I figured, or we figured. Sorry. All right. So yeah, you can. What is your intent?
I'm going to. I say like, oh well, my job is done. Here then. But then I turn back and I say, well, it's because you've been so kind to me, your generosity, that this one's free. And then I cast. And I'm showing you, my intention is to show you actually, what do I want to do? I saw in the vision that they were discussing, Whisper was discussing whether the paramours are even useful or not. And Elaine has doubts. And, let's see. And Rook just beat up Elaine. And Whisper is my boss. Okay. I'm gonna conjure up all these like different images of like the paramours within like different parts of the city, basically making fun of royalty, and they're with people who are talking about. So it's like like cut pretty expertly, hopefully, where it's like they're like hanging out or having sex with the paramours, and then like they're kind of like just chatting about like, oh yeah, like these, like it doesn't seem like it could be intentional, but that's also very suspicious, where they're like, oh yeah, like if we want to, like these are the weak points right now in terms of the trade routes, or these are the things that would really like tie down her generosity. Like then they talk a lot about your daughter,
Okay.
What is her name again?
What was her name? I keep forgetting. Amana.
Amana, yes. So like a lot of things like that kind of interspersed. Lots of sex happening for the sake of the viewers to remind them that this is an HBO show after all. And yeah, that's the spell I'm casting.
Right. Just because I love side effects, I'm gonna say yes, that is a thing. You also see Amana having sex with the paramours as part of this whole PowerPoint presentation.
Yes. Thank you, the power, unspeakable power.
So yeah, Generous, what do you do?
Yeah, how do you react? Close up to Generous.
Yeah, because I just got this very unexpected set of visions.
Including your own daughter having sex with
right,
I'm like, for no reason.
I like wave in front of you, and then like maybe there's like a mirror that appears that shows these things.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because my first question is whether I should trust that all these visions are accurate, right? Because these could all just be illusions you're creating, because your line of questioning clearly suggests that you
should read me.
Want me to distrust the paramours. So I guess study a person to see if you're being truthful with me on all this.
Do it.
Okay, let's get my stuff out of here. Get here. Okay. That's a 6. That's not gonna...
Ask one question.
Ask one question. Okay. Yeah, so can I actually trust your character to be showing me the truth?
When have the members of the SRS ever been trustworthy? But also, this is because I am a representative of them. This is showing like what I am saying to other people shows that this is the SRS's stance as well. So like a lot of times when I speak, it's like I'm not speaking for myself. Because I'm acting as a representative.
The harm move I'm gonna shelf off. It's on the table.
Okay. But I mean, I'm just
we're
trying
snakes.
to figure out the answer. Okay. So
and I'm not trustworthy because the SRS are not trustworthy.
Okay. That's where I was getting to. Okay.
Even if all I seem to be doing is stealing cookies.
So I think I'm going to just say thank you for bringing this to my attention. This audience is over, and kind of gesture towards the door.
Yeah, I nod. And then I like glance at maybe if there's like do you have a table of perhaps some kind of desserts? Question mark.
I'm just gonna say that there are some sort of table of desserts in literally every room of the Pinnacle.
Oh my gosh.
That's just the thing that we
Pinnacle is such a blessing. Yeah, I sneakily take a piece of strawberry shortcake and then sneakily tuck it into my sleeve. It's very obvious to everyone in the room.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason that I was favorably inclined to you in the beginning, was because I just find it kind of charming that you pretend you're being so sneaky about this when you could just take it if you wanted it. Like, they're there for everyone. It's part of the symbolism of generous, but you're trying to be all sneaky about it. And I just, I find that amusing and charming.
Yeah.
And
So
that's why I
far,
let you like get close and whisper things to me. Even though right now I'm a little annoyed because I feel like you must be trying to pull something with all those visions, and I don't feel like I have a good reason to trust what you were showing me there.
oh no, now I feel like I need to persuade with persuade with leverage.
And actually, so I think actually I invite you to go, and you're like trying to sneak the piece of strawberry shortcake, and I just tell you, you could just have that if you want it. I call you out on trying to sneak it.
I like squish the strawberry shortcake by accident. And then I'm like hastily wiping it on my clothes. Yeah, I'll persuade with leverage. As I'm like wiping it off, I like look at you. I only mean well. Your generosity. And yeah, I'm a roll. Don't feel me. Oh. Okay, my color's red, so 9. And a 7 to 9. I think this is with. It's with Wiley. Yeah, I have 0 and Wiley. How many experience do you have? Would you? You can choose like what like I can either say that you get experience, or if you agree, or I can choose that you have to roll like to like not do it, whatever it's called. Refuse an obligation.
That you're aiming to get me to do?
I'm getting you to act against them, or to act against them.
Okay, move against the.
And from Severin's understanding, or from my understanding of you or Generous, you're a very cautious person. So even if you were to act against them, it would be in very subtle ways, or you would just like stop trusting them in some ways, and that's all. That's all I need.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take the XP to.
You want the XP?
To move
Okay.
against them. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I only have 1, so I'd like to see if I can advance at some point.
Yeah, go for it. How do you? So like that's all I say. Like how can I tell that you're like at least taking it into consideration?
So I think when I like gestured for you to leave, one of the guards who's near the door had started to open the door, and my like clerk or whoever it is that organizes the stuff is out there, and I say to the clerk to bring my daughter in to see me. And since she was prominently featured in that vision, it's kind of, and I kind of like look at you as I say that, so that you know that it's like, because of what you showed me, I'm going to have a talk with her. And so that suggests that I'm at least looking into the kinds of thing, the things you were bringing up.
Oh yeah, I'm about it. I like bow really deeply, more than usual, and then I glance at the plates, and then I go and I take a piece of the strawberry shortcake.
All right.
Meanwhile, Kanto is cackling, and only Seven can hear it, but Kanto is cackling madly.
Yeah, I don't say anything. I peace out up there.
Alright. So yeah, you peace out. Once you leave, you Kanto says, "What are you gonna do if if Generous say finds out that Amana was actually sleeping with the paramours?
Well, that's between them. It's between mother and daughter. I am merely a mage. This is out of my hands. And then I take a bite of the strawberry shortcake. Oh man,
Alright.
7 is so gross. I feel like there must be just like cookie crumbs and like greasiness all over all the time.
All right. Meanwhile, or not meanwhile, a few days later, since we're going, running out of time soonish. Few days, weeks pass. What are you all up to?
Is it okay if I'm like kind of like back with like my armor and everything and kind of at the lead of the paramours again?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I think that I am
Actually, I have an idea.
okay.
It does involve you, Rook. So you see one of your men walk up to you. How do the paramours address you?
I think that they probably call me "oh man" in this kind of society. Like, are there like Agatha, maybe you can help me out here. Like, I like the idea that this isn't like a strictly like European type society. Like, what would be like a good honorific for someone of like high station here?
Rook-sama? Sorry.
Well, also within the context of like your own crew, right?
Right.
Because then you would think of like someone who runs a brothel as a madam or a pimp. So
Yo, pimp.
I don't know what you say about me, but you can't get $1 out of me.
You know, maybe it is like something like
PIMP. Ooh.
So what is it?
Yeah, I think it's like I like the idea that like Generous's name is like her title, like Generous. So maybe it's something along those lines, like Daddy.
Daddy Riccio!
Oh man, that would be so twisted if it was like father. No, I think it's like man, I'm like a little bit at a loss.
I'm thinking Big Brother, but that has other implications in anime. So
I just want to check something real quick. Yeah, maybe it's like you're paramount. They're like you're paramount.
you're paramount.
I'm like the big deal.
Yeah. So this guy just shows up. You're paramount. I have a request for you. It is very important.
Is this like Pitor or is this
This is some random guy. This is someone else. This is someone who is
random.
this is not Peter. This is someone who actually it's actually like someone you know to be respectable.
Okay. All right.
So,
okay. And I think that
you can
I
name
think
him. You can name him.
that do we have any J names yet? We've got a lot of G names. Let's do a J name. So his name is Jodan.
Okay, put it down. So Jodan says, "You're paramount. I have a request for you."
And I think that like he's coming to me, and I think I'm like in a like bathtub, and I think that there's like sunlight coming in, and there's like red curtains and stuff around me, and I think that like, there's some like incense burning nearby, and yeah, I like look at him like perfectly comfortable being like naked around him, and I'm just like, yes.
Remember the raid onto the Gligaro? Gligaro's that raid.
And I think I like start getting up out of the water, and like the water's dripping off of me, and I think I like motion to him to get like the towel. And I'm like, yes, I remember.
Yeah. He gets the towel and gives it to you. Well, I've been conducting some research on the artifact on my own. The one we retrieved. We need it.
We need it. Like, what do you mean? And I think he's like drying me off, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, he's drying you off, and he says, I think there's a vessel, and there's going to be a vessel, and he leans in really close. It needs an eye. I'm gonna cut off here.
Okay. All right.
So let's do end of session stuff.
All right.
So end of session, there's a whole procedure because of course there is. Like we established.
You know, I totally forgot that I got enough XP for an improvement.
Oh my God,
It's
right.
just sitting there the entire time.
Get the improvement. Oh my God. Now is a good time for that. So, oh my God, I am not finding things because I am being a derp. All right, let's do honor stuff, I guess. So did each of you tangibly advance the? Well, first of all, entanglements. Do you do any of those?
I did not.
I don't think I did. I almost did. We had a discussion that was kind of like, am I doing this? But I didn't do it.
I totally did.
Oh, yeah.
That was partly why I wanted that scene.
Yeah, if I had gotten one more scene, I probably would have, but I didn't.
Oh,
So. That's fine. That's fine. That's how it happens.
All right, so entanglements are resolved.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay.
So, each of you, do you tangibly advance the interest agenda or standing up your faction?
God, no.
I feel like
so.
Busy doing other stuff, apparently.
I think I did because I totally like took that guy out, and he was gonna like say bad shit about the paramours, right?
There's some complications going on with the paramours, as implied by the last scene.
You also, well, I feel like
Right,
you proved yourself to me.
Yeah,
Right, that's true
yeah,
too.
to Sever.
So in that way, you did, even though I have decided to discard the paramours. Sorry, because I'm a snake.
Yes. So I gain an XP for that?
Yeah. No, you gain honor for that.
Oh, finally. I'm an honorable person.
So, each of you made a new connection with someone who may find you useful or desirable.
Does that give me honor? Because I feel like I didn't do it in an honorable way.
It gives you honor, yes. Murdering someone gives you honor, apparently.
I feel like I did with you, Generous, but I don't know. You can decide if that's true or not. Oh, Center.
Wait, what was that? Sorry.
The question was like, what was the question? Sorry. Like, did I make someone powerful find me useful or desirable? And I feel like I did with Generous. Would you say that's true? If not, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'll say yes.
Okay. Sweet.
Demonstrated your power, talent, wisdom, or skill to others. Severn did that. Definitely. What about the rest of you?
Nah.
Nah.
So sad.
I don't unless I don't know. Was just too impressed with what she got. I don't know. That's kind of scary.
Let's leave that.
Yeah, alright, okay.
We might expand upon that next.
I'm fine with that.
Yes. All right. Spread rumors, secrets, or information to those who need or want it.
I spread a rumor, but I don't know if they wanted it or needed it.
I mean, to be fair, the SRS is shitty in the sense that they're a clique and they would like rumors, even though but then again, it's bad rumors. It's rumors against them or something. I don't fucking know anymore. Anyways, use your discretion for that one. Okay, losing honor. Were publicly humiliated, repudiated, or shown to be a weak.
Yeah.
I'm not over the English. All right. Went back on your word or betrayed someone.
Oh. Well.
Or acted against your faction. So, with that in mind, thank you for playing. Thank you for participating. I'm going to stop the broadcast.